Good morning, world. Ryan McGinnis here. I just wanted to take an opportunity to respond to a comment from a friend of mine on my post, Why Biblical Worldview is an Oxymoron. This comes from Joel Kime, who was my former pastor, an amazing guy. If any of you are in the Lancaster area and are looking for a church to attend, I would highly recommend. He pastors over at Faith Evangelical Congregational Church, and he and his wife, Michelle Kime, have just the most amazing heart. They love Jesus, and they want to affect change, and they're very active and engaged in doing it locally, globally. So if you're looking for a church, Faith EC Church is on Route 340 out on Old Philadelphia Pike near Anderson Pretzel. So there's a plug for you, Joel. Hope you get some parishioners because of that. But Joel says on that post that it seems to me the heart of your approach is nearly identical to the Wesleyan Quadrilateral, which, while seeing a biblical foundation, also filtered worldview through reason, tradition, essentially the church, and experience. I'm interested in your thoughts on that, and I also appreciate your sensitivity and humility. Not things that that people ascribe to me. So, thank you, Joel, for the kind words of encouragement. You didn't use this word, humility, that is, but your message is that much of hermeneutics over the years has not been humble, and I totally agree with that. So thank you, Joel. I really appreciate that, and hermeneutics have not been always the most humblest endeavor. I had a professor who used to say that theology, pride was a vocational hazard of being a theologian. So yes, I hadn't even considered what I was saying when I was saying what I was saying as the Wesleyan Quadrilateral, but ever since I've come into contact with it in seminary, sadly, not in Bible college, but in seminary, I thought that it really encapsulated what it means to do not only good hermeneutics, because it's not enough to simply know the author's intended message, but we must go beyond to, so how shall we then live? It has to get there, and the Wesleyan Quadrilateral is something that does that. My one professor, Derek Cooper, it wasn't a quadrilateral. I forget how many points he had, but he had constructed, and it was on a PowerPoint slide, so this is just off the top of my head, just the various facets of interpretation, and we have to encompass them all. So the way that a pastor interprets, we have to interpret pastorally if you're a pastor. The way that an individual interprets, and the context of their life. And he had several other points as far as how we individually and corporately should utilize the scriptures. And I appreciate those kinds of approaches, like Wesley's approach, because it demonstrates that there are a lot of facets to understanding the scriptures, and when you allow for a lot of facets, you don't get wrapped up in insisting on a particular interpretation. I think the reason that I'm not as familiar with the Wesleyan Quadrilateral as I should be is because I came or identified and aligned myself years ago much more with the Reformed movement, and Wesley might as well have horns, a goatee, and a pointy tail with a pitchfork. That's not a gracious statement, but that's where I was years ago. So, but Wesley has a great deal to offer, and those types of approaches to hermeneutics do. So, just want to thank you, Joel Kime, for your kind words, and that is a way that I agree with. That's very, very conducive to reading, interpreting, and living the Word of God. Have a great day, everyone.